Now I want to introduce another speaker that we've asked to come today, and David Bottar from our Syracuse Regional Planning Office, just to talk, to give his input on the project and what they see this regionally for Cayuga County. So welcome, David.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. Probably going to lose my seat. See what happens. Who's the next speaker? I'm going to grab his.
You can take Mr. Speck.
Great to be here tonight, and let me just offer my words of support, Chairman, for the excellent presentation and the very good job your team has done, not only tonight but over the last few years in putting some information together in the details of this project. I've been talking with your team for probably 3 or 4 years as elements of this project have come together, and certainly find it very interesting, of great significance not only to Cayuga County but to the entire region. And let me just give a brief explanation. The Central New York Regional Planning Board, we're a public planning agency. We've been operating in Central New York really since 1966. We work in Cayuga, Cortland, Madison, Onondaga, and Oswego counties. And we've certainly spent a fair amount of time doing various projects and initiatives here in Cayuga County. Worked with Steve and Vijay Mattel for many years on various projects. Board member Ann Petras is always supporting our work. She serves on our executive committee. The Regional Planning Board, we work in a number of program areas. We do work in economic development and in environmental planning, 2 of our 5 major program areas, and also in energy, a new growing program area for us. So we have a great deal of interest in projects like this. And that is why I have certainly followed the project closely over the last few years. I'm very intrigued with the proposal, and I think some of the key points that Frank hit on are certainly of great interest to us at the Regional Planning Board and throughout the region. Clearly, if it all measured up, this project would be supportive of the local economy, not just here but throughout the 5-county area. It would also address a major environmental issue that you have not only here in Cayuga County, but we have very important water bodies throughout Central New York. The dairy industry is significant to most of our counties, not only in the 5-county area, but in much of upstate New York. So if a project like this could come together, you could see where it would be not only beneficial to folks here in this room in Cayuga County, but it really could be a demonstration project throughout upstate New York. And it's because of those 2 factors that we have really tried to muster some resources in my office, paid some attention to it. And one of the things we've done over the last several years, one of the roles we're asked to play by the Federal Economic Development Administration is to maintain an economic development plan for Central New York. And really the key aspect of that plan is what we call a project priority list. This federal agency is asking the Regional Planning Board to identify the key economic development projects that are being discussed in this region for their consideration for funding. And certainly at the Aurelius Business Park, that has been on our project priority list for several years. And more recently, we have included this biodigester pipeline project on that project priority list. It's a demonstration by the Regional Planning Board to this particular federal agency that we think these projects, if all the details can come together, are of significant importance not only to the county but to the region, and we want them to consider the project for funding. In making those recommendations, we look at the potential of projects to help create jobs in a particular community and in a region. And clearly this project has that potential. The fact that it has other environmental benefits to the county and we can tie in some of the interest in the energy area only underscores the strength of our recommendation to this federal agency. We share the project priority list not only with the Federal Economic Development Administration, but with also other federal and state agencies and with our elected officials at the federal, state, and local level. It's one way that the Regional Planning Board tries to help everyone in elective office sort out what are the key projects that we need to advance in this region to support economic growth. So the value of that project priority list certainly goes beyond just this one federal agency. So these two initiatives we have on the project priority list. If the study backs up what we think are the potential of the project, the fact that the projects are on our priority list, it increases their chances for federal funding, both from EDA, certainly the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and potentially the Department of Energy and the Environmental Protection Agency. We've gone one step further. We have such a serious interest in this project that the Regional Planning Board is in a position today to offer some financial support to help underwrite the cost of the technical study. Earlier this year, we were successful in securing a grant from the Federal Environmental Protection Agency. It's called a Climate Community Showcase grant. $500,000 to the Regional Planning Board to underwrite the cost of technical studies related to climate control issues, if you think of the gas issue that Frank was alluding to. So we have funds to underwrite the technical costs and in some cases to help cover the capital cost of small energy-related initiatives. We're able to make grants of up to $30,000 to counties or municipalities throughout central New York. The EPA regional administrator from New York City was actually in Syracuse in June at our board meeting to announce the grant. And we know there's a great deal of interest. There are only 25 grantees that were awarded these grants this past round throughout the United States. There were over 500 applicants. Only 25 awards were made. The money's not big, but from EPA's standpoint, they view these grants and the projects that we're going to fund as, again, demonstration projects to other communities around the country so that they can learn from the information we've gathered. So we have met with Mr. Tortorisi and his team, and we've reviewed the qualifications of this particular initiative, and we're prepared to award $30,000 to the county to help underwrite the cost of the technical study. In our meeting a few weeks ago here in the county, I think we hit on really one of the key things. The dollar amount isn't significant in the scheme of expenses today, but I think and I know that we are going to have EPA's attention. And EPA is working with its sister agencies at the federal level. And I think by awarding this grant and by putting the support of the Regional Planning Board behind it, we'll be in a position to reach out to EPA and U.S. Department of Agriculture. And if the study proves feasible and the county is able to get behind the project and the farm community is able to stay with the project, I think we're setting the stage for much larger federal grants. So hopefully it'll all come together and we'll have more to talk about in the weeks and months ahead. Thank you.
Thanks, David. You didn't bring that check with you, did you?